We're here with another episode of Conversations and Connections. We're the official podcast of the Family Crisis Center of East Texas. I'm Stuart Burson, the prevention coordinator for the agency. And with me today, I have City Councilman of Lufkin, Robert Shankle. And I've been, Mr. Shankle, this has been a long time trying to get together, right, to coordinate everything.
Yes, it has.
But I do appreciate you for agreeing to do this, because I wanted to talk about a project that's been going on now for a while. Of course, we'll get into that, and that's Impact Lufkin.
Yes.
I know this is kind of your baby, one of your things that you really are working on.
Yes.
And I just kind of want to start things off by, can you kind of give me a general idea of exactly what Impact Lufkin is all about? What is Impact Lufkin?
Well, Impact Lufkin is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And so we are an organization that connect people with resources. And so it's sort of like a one-stop shop.
Okay.
So, we have different organizations at different parts of the city. And so what we want to do eventually is build a neighborhood center to where you go to one place and receive all the benefits that you were in search of. And so that's Impact Lufkin. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what kind of services are you talking about? Like, for instance, can you kind of give me an example?
Well, for instance, we have talking with SFA. We talk with Angelina College. So they want to have a classroom to teach different things. And then you have like the health clinic. You have human resource and SNAP. Different organizations that's in other parts of the town. We wanted to centralize it, have it at one location. So at this location, we have already talked with Brazos Transit, and they would make it one of their major stops. So you could get on the transit on the other side of town, and you can connect to Impact Lufkin as far as receiving services.
Okay. Now, as far as the location, what location in Lufkin are we talking about?
We're talking about North Lufkin, so 1624 Sarah Street, and it was the former Lufkin Country Club.
Okay, I know exactly where that is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So maybe even an agency like the Family Crisis Center?
Of course.
We could do something, I guess, with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we try to cover every issue that someone would probably have at this main building, that we could have the resources and take care of their needs.
Now, is Impact Lufkin responsible? I've noticed like some new, I don't know how new they are now, but new homes that have been built along on Sayers.
So one of the initiatives that came out of the appreciation inquiry, which SFA did with Dr. Oliphant, Dr. Avant, and the community, was affordable housing.
Okay.
And so that was the first thing that's on the low-hanging branch that we could grab to. And so we started with a developer here in Lufkin that seen the vision and stepped out and partnered with us. And so we have built 3 affordable houses and sold them. Okay. And now we at the point to where we have 4 ongoing. And so they should be completed by April of this year. So that'll be 7 homes that we are building.
Okay.
Have built, yes.
Great.
Oh, yes.
When was Impact Lufkin first conceptualized? How did you come up? Was it you that came up with this idea?
No.
How did this take place? Like, what planted the seed, I guess, is what.
Right. So Buddy Temple.
Okay.
Buddy Temple had a vision, because North Lufkin is the older part of Lufkin.
Okay.
So he tasked Buddy Ziegler and Laura Squires to go into North Lufkin. Instead of putting a Band-Aid on it, he wanted to fix the problem. So then Buddy Ziegler and Laura Squires came into the community and sought out, and we met. And so at the beginning, it started out in 2014.
Okay.
And so it was a project. And so we come up with the name Impact Lufkin, and we had a contest with the community to come up with the logo. Everything is community driven. So it's nothing that the board do or I do. It's community driven. And so 2014, that started. SFA did a 2-year appreciation inquiry in which, I want it done right then. And I said, 2 years? I don't know if I'll be here in 2 years. So, 2 years went by just like that, but they went door to door asking citizens what would they like to see.
Okay.
And that's in Ward 1 and Ward 2.
Okay.
And so that's what came out the comprehensive plan that SFA done. And so that's the guideline that we go by now to see moving forward to do things that the community had asked to be done.
So at the beginning, when we first started talking, you kind of talked about the ultimate goal, to make a place, a center, one-stop shop, anything that's needed. I've been hearing about Impact Lufkin for a while now.
Yes.
Where are you right now here in the beginning of 2025? Where are you right now as far as reaching that ultimate goal?
Where we are right now, because COVID came and hit,
right,
and so we stopped all contact and didn't have any kind of partnership meeting. So actually, we having our first partnership meeting February the 6th.
Okay.
At Brandon Community Center, to where the partners come back, we start giving out information and things like that. So with our intern, Miss Misty and Miss Amber, we are reaching out for funding now to get grants, because back then, and that was back in 2017, 18, the estimate cost for the neighborhood center, we were looking at like $10 million.
Right.
And so now, inflation has risen. And so right now we're looking for funding to help with that project. But the next immediate thing that we are doing, we will build 30 more affordable houses.
Okay.
So we're going to put in a short street with a cul-de-sac, and we'll build 30 more affordable houses. And that way we'll have some funding of our own to put with the grant that we're applying for, if we're able to receive it, and then we could start the plans of the neighborhood center. So we're looking at probably another 5 years before that part will happen.
Okay.
Yes.
So these new homes and everything, that's going to be on Sayre Street or off of Sayre Street, I guess, where the old country club used to be.
Yes. Right? Yes. So right now we're building on Sayre Street. So we built 7, and then we have more room to build 4 more.
Okay.
But then after that, phase 2, we'll put in a short street, and then 30 more houses. We'll back up to the one that we presently built.
I'm just curious, how did Impact Lufkin get to acquire that land that used to be the country club? Was it gifted to you, or how did that work?
So, no, it wasn't gifted. It was, I say it was God's plans. Because at one point, they wanted $5 million for the country club. Yes.
Yikes. Okay.
And Impact Lufkin, we didn't have no money. None at all. And so, at that time, Rufus Duncan was on our board.
Okay.
And he reached out to the Pittsburgh Foundation. And then the Community Foundation, they sold the old Lotus Lane apartments.
Okay.
And so they wanted to disperse that money to a nonprofit organization that would do something for North Lufkin. And so at that time, I think Mr. Buddy Ziegler, he was on that board. He convinced them to give us a grant of $500,000. So we got that. And then Mr. Duncan, he got us $150,000. And then Mr. Buddy turned back around and convinced the board to loan us $300,000. So we met with the owners and told them what we wanted to do. And so they said, okay, we'll let you have it for $960,000, up on $1 million.
Yeah.
So they gave us 30 days to get it. We had zero.
So you went from
zero.
You went from them wanting $5 million to just a little under 200,000, I guess, right?
Up on 900,000.
900.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I was off.
Yeah.
But still, that's still a substantial difference.
Exactly. So they said, "Well, can you come up with it?" And before I knew it, I said, "Yeah." And then I thought to myself, "We don't have no money."
Why did I just say that?
But it's all about faith too.
Okay.
And so I have crazy faith. And so one day before the deadline, we received all the money to pay for the property. Yes.
That is awesome.
It is.
That is
It
great.
is. Yes, it is.
What's the community's response been like so far? I know you went out to them asking them what they wanted, and you wanted the community input. The things that you've done so far, how's that been received?
It's been well received because it's the voice of the community. So they are the one to say, okay, well, we need affordable housing. Okay, we need health care. Okay, we need transportation. So that's what Impact Lufkin is focused on. And so that's what we are doing, is doing whatever the community asks for us to do. Now, some we know we probably won't be able to do it, but the majority of everything that's in the precinct inquiry, that's what we're working on. And I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that. But like the conversation cafe, like we have with SFA, they host for us, the community talks, we make sure that we listen. And that's the key. Listen to the community of what they want. And so you ask them to come out and help, they're going to come help because their voices are being heard.
Sure.
And so that's give them more buy-in on making sure that things happen.
And of course, my mind is going, I'm thinking of like great opportunities that we could have there as the Family Crisis Center to educate young people.
Yes.
Because, that's what I do. I go out to the schools, go out to the community, talk to these young people about relationships and healthy relationships and things like that. I would love to be able to see to where there's some kind of a community gathering, a youth gathering there to where we could do something like that. That would be so cool.
Right, because now, and we do it every year, we host a kids fishing. And so it'd be like 50, 60 kids that we'll host. We have sponsors, and we have Mr. Tim, the game warden. He come out and teach safety, and then we have others that sponsor the food and the reeling rods and different. So, and it brings joy to the board and the community because the little kid said, "This is the first place I caught my first fish." And so we give a prize to the one that catches the biggest, the smallest, the most. And it's just a good family environment. So then later, we have a senior fishing. So we had the seniors to come out and fish, and so they can enjoy. And we get volunteers like Angelina College basketball team. We have people from the community that come out, and they see the need, and they are giving back to the community. And so it's a overall enjoyable thing for everybody.
And is this the pond that's up,
Yes.
that's on the property there?
We have three. We have an 18-acre lake.
Okay, I guess that's what I'm saying when you look that you can kind of see on Sayre Street, right?
That's Sarah Street. That's
right.
a 2-acre lake.
Okay.
But you have to go inside of Impact Lufkin.
Okay.
And it's
I had no idea.
A lot of people that hadn't played golf or been on the property had no idea that big lake is back there, and it's full of fish and bass.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So next steps going forward, I'm sure you probably touched on some of this, but upcoming projects, openings. I know you have some more homes that you want to build.
Yes.
What can we see maybe in 2025 from Impact Lufkin?
Well, you'll see more affordable housing because that is a great need here in Lufkin. Is affordable home ownership. We know we have rent houses and things like that, but we're trying to push people more towards home ownership, and that bring more value to the community. Okay. Also, so this is going, once the phase 2 that we're going to do the 30 houses, we're going to put in a new street. So we need the community to come out to one of these events that we have because we want the community to come up with the name to name the street.
Okay.
So we have a contest to see who come up with the best name. And so, say we get 20, 30 street names, and then the board will narrow it down and choose whatever name that street would be. Even though we have several streets, but this is be the first one. So the street will come from the community to see the name that they want on that street.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I know I think Impact Lufkin, you do have a Facebook page,
Yes.
right? I know there's a website, there's a Facebook
Yes.
page. I know I subscribe to the Facebook page because I see the updates
Yes.
with the housing and you're always moving dirt. There's
yes.
always some there's
It's
always
always
some
something.
dirt moving where y'all are at and doing these things.
yes.
So, Mr. Shankle, I wish the best for Impact Lufkin, and I can't wait to see what happens there in North Lufkin and in this project.
Yes, sir. It's exciting to see, and it's exciting to see the expression on the community face, to see something different coming to that side of town, and then it bring back hope for the community.
Great.
Yes.
All right, Lufkin City Councilman Robert Shankle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we've worked for, I felt like a year on getting you over here. It's finally happened.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so if you feel like, I just want to close things. If you feel like you need the services of the Family Crisis Center, we do have our toll-free number. That's 1-800-828-7233. Also, be sure to subscribe to Conversations and Connections. You can do that via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much any podcast service of your choice. Remember, be the voice, if not for you, for someone else.